So how does Sony convince the consumer to say, don't play these third-party games in these other stores, buy it in our store?
They're going to have a hard time convincing these same people when that Xbox Helix comes out with their free online multiplayer and $20 for Game Pass Ultimate. That's going to destroy the narrative right there. What is going to be the point of picking up a PlayStation 6? Because we all know it ain't because of exclusives. But like you said, third-party offerings when Microsoft is going to provide the best third-party experience for their gaming audience.
They won't use that term. The terms they will use is play the games on our console.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
I thought it was play the exclusive games that we have on our console, but they realized that their exclusive games ain't selling worth a damn, and now they got to push the narrative to, oh, PS5 is the best place for third party, baby. That's not what Capcom said. They said they make more money on PC than they even do on the PlayStation 5 platform. Where you ponies getting this information? Y'all ain't even buying your own games, for crying out loud. PC gamers are buying your games more than you are, even on your own console.
The reason why is if you play the game on the PlayStation console, you have to buy it from PlayStation.
Stop with the excuses,
so that's
Jimmy.
why I'm using the term store.
Stop with the excuses, Jimmy.
So PlayStation is like, how can we convince people to play Madden?
Wow.
And, Grand Theft Auto and Resident Evil. And
games that PlayStation don't even own. You're going to have a hard time convincing them going into the next generation with that Helix, man. I'm here to tell you guys, man, PlayStation is dead, bro. Like, you've already established that. You just told people that how is Sony convincing people to play the same games that people are playing on every other platform. That's why when Microsoft comes out with that Helix, with that free online multiplayer, where do you think those casuals are going to go? Ding, 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 ding. Good answer, Carl. PC and Xbox Helix. That's where they're going to go. Especially if you throw out that online free multiplayer, PlayStation Plus ain't going to be making $11 billion a year. Because nobody's going to want to subscribe to it. Y'all don't see it, man. You guys want to claim and say, we won the console war. No. You guys actually lost it. Because what identity are you guys? Oh, but we got exclusive. But if that was the case, then you would be telling people that people are picking up the PS5 for exclusives, which we all know is full and utter bull crap.
Of all the third-party games out there, that's generally everywhere, right?
Exactly.
They have to have a differentiator. They have to be different.
Well, I know Microsoft does. They have Game Pass Ultimate. They're putting day and dates of third-party games through their service. That's something that you're not getting through PlayStation Plus. I told you guys, this was never a console war. This is a live service and subscription war, and Sony is about to lose it next generation. There's nothing that you guys can say as to why people are subscribed to PlayStation Plus besides getting 2 free lousy games at the end of the month and paying to play Madden online. All Microsoft's got to do is free online multiplayer. People will more than likely pay $20 to get access to 500 plus games, including day and dates with Microsoft's first party and third party companies that they decide to do deals with. And then you ask me, what is the point of a PlayStation 6?
People have to say this is a PlayStation. Now, you can't say this is a PlayStation if a gamer goes, oh, I play Madden, 2K, Grand Theft Auto.
Oh!
That's not necessarily a PlayStation gamer. You could be pretty much on any platform.
Oh! You got Puertorock taking shots at y'all, man. He said that's not really a PlayStation gamer. A PlayStation gamer would be like Nintendo if they went out there and bought their games. Like, you know why we would call a person that buys a Switch 2? Because they pick up Nintendo games. That's why. So therefore, they're a Nintendo gamer. That's why their games do far better than the exclusives that are on PlayStation.
Right? I mean, granted.
You just proved our point.
Maybe not Nintendo, because they don't got Grand Theft Auto, but for the most part, Xbox or PC, whatever.
Well, there you go.
So
and what is Xbox making? Ding, 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 ding. An Xbox PC. Freedom, free online multiplayer, Steam, good old games. You ponies don't even realize it, man. You guys have lost the console war before it even started. Y'all was out here. Y'all gonna be looking like the PlayStation 3 when that came out. That's what PlayStation 6 gonna be looking at. I think people are gonna buy it initially because of the brand recognition, but people are gonna soon lose interest and they're gonna opt out for the new Xbox. I can see it coming. That's why Microsoft said, yeah, we're gonna be third party, but we're gonna have the best third party in the gaming market. No different than PC gaming. We're going to give the option, we're going to give the freedom to our gaming community, and Game Pass is going to be bigger than anything because the ponies are going to jump on bandwagon. They sitting there telling you, oh, we want to do that. But once those Madden, 2K, and those players find out that, hey, I can play Madden online for free on Xbox, I think they're going to buy the Helix instead. Don't you think? You guys never had an identity. You guys have used this exclusivity trope to brag about games that nobody cares about. Because if you did, Soros wouldn't be stuck at 300,000, would it?
How do you call yourself PlayStation, you call yourself Xbox, you call yourself Nintendo or whatever? How do you separate yourself? How do people know you're PlayStation, right? You do that by your own first-party games, right?
Well, so that's the problem, Rocky. Nobody's buying them. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's buying these games, man. I think you're going to have to go hiding underneath the kitchen cabinet. You know, I mean, this is ridiculous, bro. We don't just call this man Puertorock for no reason. You know, this man out here looking for crumbs now at this point. Jumping on top of his kitchen table, man. Get that cucaracha out of here, man. That man trying to go on my peanut butter, and he out here trying to make it extra crunchy. Going in there, man. Ain't nobody want a peanut butter and cockroach sandwich.
First-party games are designed, right, to create...
Get away from that Xbox peanut butter.
Identity.
Skip it.
So that people can recognize and have the conversation.
Oh, here we go.
That way, you have these games, and you also have the third-party support combined, right? Now, the first-party plan will never trump or supersede the third party.
Oh!
PlayStation doesn't have thousands of developers.
Oh!
With thousands of developers in the third party.
Oh!
Nobody does. No one does.
Oh!
If you're successful at convincing people to buy your console, then those people will buy the third party on your console, which will result.
And guess what? Microsoft is preparing themselves for that same argument. They're going to be the best place to play third-party offerings. They're going to get day and dates, third-party day and dates through Game Pass Ultimate for $20 a month, free online multiplayer, access to Steam, access to all these launches, and you guys ponies acting like this ain't a big thing. Sony is about to lose everything they have ever worked for through PlayStation Plus. It's like Sony has built this whole behemoth, but yet the same games that built them, the same games that was making money off, was third party. So once people realize, hey, I can play on Xbox Helix without having to pay for online, where do you think they're going to go, buddy? They're going to go to the Helix. They're going to forget about PlayStation. Because you know why? PlayStation was built off third party. That's why y'all was trembling on your knees with the 360. Look how far those diehard PlayStation fans were when they said we're not buying the PS3. We rather get the Xbox 360, and that's why Sony was shaking in their britches because they realized that the 360 was a far better console, even with the red ring of death. Even the pony still didn't want a PS3 at $600.
In getting that 30% cut. Now let's talk about this just in case. I can't assume everybody knows this. When a third-party developer puts their game on a storefront, regardless of what the storefront is, that storefront charges a royalty fee for accessing.
We know that, and that's what's putting Sony in business. You're telling us things that we already are fully aware of. But this is what I'm trying to say. You guys said that exclusives is what puts PlayStation on the map. Just to find out it's been third party ever since we have brought this up to people's attention. You have proved absolutely nothing in this video, Puertorock. This man want to sit there and act like he's out here relaying out some new revelation that we never knew about. We already knew this, bro. We already knew this.
Even Steam does. So when a third-party developer says, hey, I'm going to put this game on Steam, Steam says you have to give me 30% of the sales revenue from that game. You keep 70%.
And how are they going to be able to achieve that going into the next generation? That's what you guys don't understand. This is what you guys keep messing around with. When that Helix drops, and if that free online multiplayer is real, Sony is most definitely in trouble. The only thing that can knock the Xbox out of the map if it's $100 or $200 more than what the PS6 is offering, then maybe that might give Sony a little leeway. But other than that, if Microsoft, especially with everything and how it's planned out, Sony is in big trouble. And that's why Ponies is out there jumping out their stables, because they know the end is coming. It's so crazy to think that PlayStation was so sick, just like the PS2, and look at how fast that crumbled. And you guys act like, oh, that would never happen to us again. We in the lead. We got 93 million ponies. Well, guess what? All of them ponies going to be leaving the stables. And they're going to be enjoying those Xbox carrots under the Xbox stable. Microsoft is already preparing you to be an Xbox gamer as far as I'm concerned. That's why they keep putting the games over. They're like, get ready, ponies. Y'all going to be jumping on the Helix next. No wonder Microsoft is out here institutionalizing y'all, man. Institutionalizing y'all, man. They're like, yo, we're going to put the Halo here for you, the Gear Reloaded, the Forza, and then you're going to have to buy the games again when you get the Helix, because unlike you, being a dummy, Xbox gamers will get the free upgrade, and you dummies are going to have to buy the Helix because you're going to realize that third party is far better on the Helix.
The third-party developer publisher agrees. That same third-party developer goes, hey, I want to put this game on PlayStation. Sony's like, cool, but you got to give us a 30% cut to access our fan base.
We know that.
Says cool. And they do the same thing with Nintendo. They do the same thing with Xbox. It's generally 30%. And that's where they all make their money. That's how Steam makes its money. That's how PlayStation makes its money. That's how Xbox used to make its money, or at least they were good at it. We'll talk about that. And
they still are.
Nintendo doesn't really make money like that anymore.
Oh, no, they don't. Yes, they do. Oh, Nintendo is making bank off that Nintendo Online. You know how many people bought Animal Crossing? They bought it to play online. You know how many people bought Smash Bros? They bought it to play online. Matter of fact, you want to sit there and talk about Nintendo? Nintendo's not getting money for that? What? How do you think people playing Mario Kart World online? Because you got to pay for it, you big dummy. Nintendo's hitting y'all with a double whammy. Y'all buying the games, you're buying their first party, and then you are buying into the Nintendo Online membership, which Sony wish they can do, but y'all can't. Like I said, man, Microsoft is coming for the takeover. You guys have nothing. You guys can't tell me, unless you can tell me how PlayStation Plus can be better than Game Pass Ultimate, then maybe you guys got a chance going into that generation. But as of right now, with what we're hearing about the Helix, you guys have no chance in hell. All right? It's just like that Shane McMahon song. You got no chance in hell. You got no chance. No chance in hell.
I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about how things change.
Oh, here we go.
Right now, I'm just discussing the general science.
Ain't no damn science.
So PlayStation, right?
Break it down, Professor Rock.
They also say, because, again, they
Professor
don't have
Rock.
enough first party. They don't have enough development.
Man out here looking like Dr. Moto.
They understand that we need to also go after. So this is only.
Man out here looking like the Cortex from the guy from Crash Bandicoot, man, with the big old N on his head. What the?
We also need to go after third-party games.
Neo Cortex looking ass.
To increase that PlayStation brand recognition.
Ain't no brand recognition because you bring hot, bruh. We increasing the brand recognition of PlayStation with third party? Man, this man is a joke.
Where in PlayStation 1, they went after Metal Gear. They went after Final Fantasy. They even went after Castlevania. Right?
Talk to them.
So
all third party games might add.
Within their own first party and with third party exclusives combined, people saw this brand, this image. Right? Because the games created this brand and image.
Yeah, and it were third party games, not exclusives.
There's an argument that says that games should not be what defines platforms. The game should be everywhere. It should be the platform, the services, the hardware that sells. I am going to tell you that will not work and it will never work.
Oh!
I'll explain why.
Oh!
Right? We'll explain why.
Pony wake up call.
See, with hardware, you really can't differentiate yourself.
Oh!
Let's be honest. Look at the Xbox.
Well, Xbox is definitely going to differentiate themselves with the Helix, though. Nintendo has with the hybrid console, and Microsoft's going to do the hybrid with their next console. Now, in regards to what we got now, yes, you are absolutely right.
Series X and the PS5.
Yes.
From a hardware perspective, they're really not all that different.
Oh, who said that? AMD architecture. They all use the same hardware. Any game on PlayStation can run on Xbox and vice versa. I've told y'all this.
On paper,
talk to him, Professor Rock.
And through conversations from both Xbox and Sony. Oh, the SSDs and then Microsoft's 12T flops and all these words and talk.
We got the quick
When it comes down to playing, if you put both consoles and you take a game like, let's say, Resident Evil on the PS5, base PS5, and Xbox Series X, you're not going to see a discernible difference. You would have to go to professionals like Digital Foundry to pause, zoom in, pixel count, and really give you those.
And who's really doing that? Who's really putting their eyes that close to the screen, sitting back on their goddamn sofa? Ain't nobody do. Oh, look at the tethering. Look at the particles. Look at the puddles on the PlayStation. Look at the heat. Look at the Series X with the Unreal Engine 5. It didn't skip one frame. You guys are a bunch of nerds for no reason. It's the same game, bro. Stop comparing
the details. But simply walking into the store, just a basic store, going to Best Buy, or going to some type of gaming outlet, right? You see the Xbox version of Resident Evil, you see the PlayStation 5 Resident Evil, you just see it on screen, it is pretty much the same. You're not going to see a discernible difference between the two. So the thing is not going to matter. Number two, you really can't compete on a hardware because you don't get enough hardware changes every year.
Well, guess what? Microsoft's coming with the ultimate hardware change, and that is opening up their platform. And that's why we keep telling you Sony's in trouble.
Comes out, you might be lucky to see new hardware in 4 years if the company decides to do a mid-gen refresh, like what PlayStation did. But if you notice this gen, Microsoft didn't do a mid-gen refresh. It's the Xbox Series X for so far 6 years. And PS5, let's be honest, the primary seller of PlayStation is the PS5.
This man, poor Professor Rock is letting the ponies have it.
When the consoles launch, the conversational hardware is where it's at its biggest when they launch. For the first year, like the couple of months before it, and the year after, that's when all the hardware versus trophies, unless, you know, the minute, I prefer this and prefer that system. But in general, no one really says, or no longer, Xbox has the achievement system, PlayStation don't. That died, so features can't be copied. But, you know, I still talked about to this day, the games. Games will always be the main factor for consoles. It will never change. Because games are unique. When it's done by first party, they're supposed to be unique to the platform.
But they're not, though. They're not. See, that's the problem. They're no longer unique. And I think that's the argument that people are making. And even if you claim for them to be unique, the casual gamer just doesn't care about the uniqueness.
And if you want to play it, you have to get this platform to play it. And they're supposed to keep the people, the culture of that platform in mind.
Well, unfortunately, that's not working.
360 and PS3 is probably the best example because 360 was the dude bro shooter console. PlayStation was the Japanese single-player console.
That's not true. No. Let's destroy. Hold on. I'm going to hear it again, and we're going to break it down.
The people, the culture of that platform mind. 360 and PS3 is probably the best example because 360 was the dude bro shooter console. PlayStation was the Japanese single-player console. Completely two different identities.
Oh, really? What about Blue Dragon? What about Lost Odyssey? What about Tenchu Z? How about when Vanquish ran better on the Xbox than it did on PlayStation? Y'all can't hear that pony? He can't handle it. You know, the airbox was Japanese, though. What about when the Samurai Showdown Sen dropped on it exclusively on the Xbox? It ain't Japanese, though. What about when Lost Planet came out first on the 360? Dead Rising 1 came out on the Japanese, though. Don't sit there and talk about that 360 weren't Japanese, though. What about Last Remnant? What about all these games, bro? Phantasy Star Universe, done deal. Why are we even still talking? but the 360 wasn't Japanese, though. Oh, okay. That's a lie. The 360 was a good overall console that, yes, multiplayer was becoming that dude bro approach, but that's because people was getting into the online multiplayer. But that doesn't mean that the 360 wasn't a well-rounded console. Gamesta, what another W.
Even though the most popular shooter, or at least one of the most popular shooters, was on both platforms, Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
And who owns it now?
The biggest hit. The most played game on Xbox, the most played game on PlayStation, everybody was playing it. But they didn't call the PlayStation 3 the shooter box. Xbox retained that title because of its exclusives, like Halo and Gears of War. PlayStation retained its identity as single-player games, with Demon Souls and Uncharted and all that stuff.
That's not true. That's not true. Uncharted was known for its multiplayer as well. Killzone was known for its multiplayer. Hold on. Bro, you was out here destroying everything. Wait, bro, I know because I was into PlayStation 3. I love the PS3. It's one of my favorite consoles. But I'm not going to have you disrespect the online of the PS3. You want to sit there and say the PS3 wasn't an online console? All right, so let's look at it. MotorStorm, oi! SOCOM Confrontation, oi! SOCOM 4, Killzone 2, Killzone 3, Little Big Planet, which the whole concept of the game was to make levels online, Uncharted 2 and 3 multiplayer, Last of Us multiplayer, MAG, which was an online-only game, Planet Side, PlayStation Home, MotorStorm Pacific Rift, Apocalypse. Are we going to sit there and act Starhawk, Warhawk? Online. Oh, but PlayStation wasn't multiplayer, though. Man, PlayStation was so damn multiplayer, they even added multiplayer to God of War Ascension. Shut your behind up. It wasn't online, though. It was single-player unit. Oh, okay.
Even though they were both communities were playing the biggest shooter of that gen, Call of Duty.
I'm done. I don't want to listen to this garbage. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, man, Puertorock is at it again. This man clearly don't know what he's talking about. Goes as far to say the PS3 was a single player unit, when in my opinion it was a great unit. It was a great overall unit as well. But to downplay the online influence of the PlayStation 3 is crazy to me. I know a lot of those games didn't do well, and you know what's crazy? I almost forgot one as well. Resistance 1 and 2 and 3. Oh my goodness. Oh, but PlayStation had nothing to do with multiplayer. They weren't trying to be like everybody. They just trying to do single player game. Every single player game Sony had was trying to compete with Microsoft with multiplayer. But it didn't work as successfully as they wanted. But let's not act like they weren't trying to do that. They were. Why do you think Uncharted literally said we credit Gears of War for its cover-based mechanic, which they also eventually took the first game and made the second one with online as well as the third. I'm done. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, take care. Peace out.